Hey, Mom. Computer's a little slow, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. Just other than the fact I haven't been swimming yet. I'm planning on doing so. I want to also try out the. They've got a hardwood floor over at the rec center that they run on. It's 1/5 of a mile, so you have to do 5 laps instead of four. But I want to try it out, see how it is. Other than that, just doing what I do. I've got a book on Catherine the Great. I'm also reading my way through The Art of War with Sun Tzu. So that's about it. Just always reading. I actually need to break out my Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do book and start reading on that because I need to figure out some better drills, something for slipping, so I can get closer to an opponent and hit him. I'm training a guy right now, not at the moment, but he's out somewhere right now. I think he's out with a girlfriend of his, but I'm training a guy how to fight. I just recently showed him how to use his elbows, and he's really, really happy now. This guy, he in his terms, he's what you'd call a scrapper or a boxer. He's a lightweight. He likes to jump around. And he can jump. This boy can jump. He doesn't like to stand still. He doesn't like grappling like I do. He doesn't like, grabbing a head and throwing him on the ground. He doesn't like that. So I told him, you're either going to have to learn how to do it, because that's how people naturally fight, or you're going to have to learn how to use your elbows. And he wanted to learn how to use his elbows, and I showed him how to use his elbows. So he's happy with that. Other than that, that's just about it. It's how it is. Just doing my push-ups, getting, somewhat in shape. I'm horribly out of flexibility shape. I've got to get better at that. I've started reading the book A Supple Leopard that I got, and I've been on and off reading with it. I'm starting to read it again because school's out of the way now. I can actually pay attention. And what I'm doing with that is just basically, trying to get mobility back, which this guy argues, when you're a kid, like a baby, you have like no muscle mass, or whatever muscle mass you have is very limited, so you're able to, do some weird contortionist movements with your shoulders, your hips, everything. And now as you get older, those muscles get tight. They get used to a certain range of motion. And if you want to get better at it, like with kicking, I want to be able to do a full split, so I can, do a really high kick at really close quarters. And being shorter, I actually need that because the guy is 6 foot tall, and I can't punch him, or I just get him in the head before I want to wrap him. I got to, still distract him. I got to get that foot upside his head so I can, either grab him with my feet and fall, so then he's on the ground and I can wrap him up, or I've got to get that kick in. So I was like, So I started looking into it and trying to get more flexible again. Anyway, it's slow going, but it's coming. Other than that, I'm just doing what I do. I think I told you I finally figured out how to use my Ivanco Super Gripper, the grip machine that I bought, and I'm getting closer. I'm not there yet to that Captain Crush gripper that you bought me for last Christmas. The nice thing though is, if I can ever actually max this Ivanco gripper, I won't need to buy another gripper, because this gripper that I've got, the one you bought me is 200 pounds per square inch, which is a pretty good average working man's grip. Which anyone who's got about 200, they grab you. There's a lot of pressure there. You're not going anywhere. If you've got over 300, you can actually break a bone in your hands, or at least to the point they're not getting away. And if I want to be a SEAL, I got to have better grip. I got to be able to grab someone and hang on, or at least grab the boat, or grab the helicopter and hang on. I mean, I got to get out of there. So I was looking into it, and I found out the Ivanco Super Gripper, at its lowest setting, is like 10 pounds, but at its highest is 340. And the heaviest gripper on the market is 365, which is the pounds per square inch needed to crush a raw potato. And I was reading a book by Jack London where one of the characters actually can do this, and it's actually a feat of strength. If you can actually crush an apple, or you can you can mash a potato with your bare hands, a raw one, that's pretty impressive. And I was like, ooh. So if I get to where I can finally max out my grip on this thing, I'll just have to work a little harder, and eventually I'll be able to get that potato. I was like, oh, I got, a year and a half to do it, so let's get to it. So right now I'm at about 150 pounds in my hands. So I need about roughly 200 pounds more. But considering when I got here I had barely 100 in my hands, that's pretty good. I've just got to, now that I know how to adjust it, because I can adjust it by increments between 5 and 10 pounds, I can act like, I'm using weights. I can adjust it, I can do this exercise with, like a bicep curl with 35 pounds. I can up it to 40 or 45, and yeah, I can get stronger, I can get used to it. It's the same with the gripper, so getting closer. That's just how it is. I'm just hanging out. Everybody, a lot of my friends are pretty much gone, so then the only guy that I have here is Grady, who's the one I'm training, and then Jojo, or Joseph, he's actually out doing, I want to say he's babysitting, but he's house sitting. He's babysitting the dogs that live at the house, and then he's taking care of the house. So, yeah, that, and then, let's see, what else is there?